Ladies and gentlemen, how's the food? Yeah? Good? Okay, so we want to thank Cecilia and her team back there for this food. Yes, yeah. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about Mary's house. If I can get some quiet, it's hard to hear. I guess I'm showing my age. So Mary's house. For some of you, this is your first time here. How many of you did not hear about Mary's house until recently? If you can raise your hand. Okay. So those of you who know about Mary's house, you'll just have to, listen to this story again, all right? So in 2010, my dad was getting sick. And my dad was a minister. He had a little bit of property and automobiles. He pulled himself up by his bootstraps, so to speak, and made us a middle class, I'm gonna put that in quotes, family. And he got sick. He had a stroke. He had to go into an assisted living facility. And we found a rehab place that was a good, it was a good place. He had two pennies to rub together so he could get into a good place. However, it was understaffed, as are many of the facilities in Washington, D.C. and around the country. They were just understaffed. And so they didn't care that he was a preacher. They didn't care that he had raised a family. They didn't care that he pulled himself up by his bootstraps. They didn't care that he was a pillar of the community. To them, he was in room 222, bed A. Thank goodness he had his stepmother. My stepmother's here. Fanny, raise your hand. Yay! Had my stepmother, had my wife Andrea, me and my siblings to check in on him, to talk to the nurses station. How many of you are caring for parents right now? So you all know what I'm talking about, right? You have to go up and make sure those folks are doing what they're supposed to do, don't you? Yeah. So he had somebody to actually care for him. But as I thought about him being there, I wondered what would have happened had he been a gay man or transgender. What would have happened? What kind of care would he have received if he was receiving care as a middle-class elder in Washington, D.C. that was not the greatest? What would have happened had his sexual orientation, gender identity been in question or been on the margins? So he died. He left me this house. And how many of you have seen The Matrix? Okay. It's been a while. But in that scene, Neo is asked to take the blue pill or the red pill, right? If he takes the red pill, he can never go back. He's with the cause, right? If he takes the blue pill, he can return to the dream. So when my dad died, I got this house. I had to figure out whether I was taking the blue pill. We are in Washington, D.C., and property values are high, and I can rent that house out and live very comfortably, right? Or take the red pill and help LGBT elders have a place to live that they can bring their whole selves, right? So I took the red pill, and like Neo, I'm happy that I took the red pill. There's some obstacles. We need $800,000 to build and begin. It's called build and lease up. Where's John? That's my word. Build and lease up our little house. We're going to have 6 apartments in our house. They're not apartments. I'm sorry, they're not apartments. 6 suites, thank you, with their own bathroom and their own closet, right? And this is an aside. Everybody has their own bathroom because I share bathroom with my wife, and she really would like her own bathroom. But that's an aside. So we'll have a garden. We'll have a stone wall garden in the back. That's where the bricks go, for the stone wall garden in the back, where we have sweet potatoes and irises. We'll have a wraparound porch. We'll have laundry facilities. We'll have a hydrotherapy tub. We don't call it a hot tub because that's, you know, we're building now. So we call it a hydrotherapy tub. And it's just going to be great. We're just so excited. And this is going to be the first one. This is the first one that we're building. Our hope is to have a Mary's House in all 8 wards. That's our hope. And in all of the states. All right?